Yo, what up? It's Brendan.
I'm Brandon.
And this is
the Brews and Bros podcast. Can you pass me the mic?
Pass him the mic. Josh.
You, I think.
Yeah, honestly, I say we probably roll right into it. No needs to.
Yeah, let's do it.
To do anything. So we'll just get right into it. Without further ado, welcome back to the Brews and Bros podcast. I'm Brandon.
I'm Brendan.
Brendan. And obviously, as you guys can see right here, this is my good longtime friend Cesar. You guys probably know him as Rubio.
Oh.
Just because it's
Rubio, definitely.
Because it's just easier in a podcast and all that sort of stuff. So how you been, man? What you been up to?
Good, dude. I've been all right. Thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, of course.
I am excited to do this. It's October of 2020, and I'm trying to do the whole Joe Rogan thing. Sober October. Figured I'd take a little break from, I guess, everything when it comes to drugs and use of my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about you guys? How are you guys doing?
Not me, bud.
Not you.
I think I know my limits, though.
It looks fucking nice.
I think I know where to draw the line, though. I think that's the big difference.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Just trying and get this thing going. And, seeing what's up. I know your podcast is doing pretty well. You just had an episode released a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah. That was Starling. It's been going well. I've been a little. I feel like you guys are more on top of it than I am when it comes to doing the podcast. I've been slacking. I've been trying to do other things when it comes to it, but I just need I feel like people think podcasting is a lot more simple than when it comes down to.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you're doing video.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Especially when you're doing video, like this is your guys' first video, right?
Correct, yep.
This is going to be your first video, right? So it's like, and I guess just the topics a little bit, well, definitely different for my podcast, which is called Vetterview. Cough, cough, shut up. I'm just kidding. It's I'm enjoying it though. I really like hearing everybody's stories and just because everybody has a different sort of deal that they experienced when it came to getting out of the service. I mean, you were my first one on there, which thank you again for doing it.
Oh yeah, of course.
It was a good chat. Yeah, we have to do it again for sure.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Definitely have to do it again.
The reunion special.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully next time, we're like in the same room. Because I think that would help.
The same room. We'll have it set up like you guys are set up right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it won't be sober month.
Oh no,
so
not at
faded.
All. And I feel like part of the difference here though too is you have to like find guests and everything to kind of go through with it. With us, it's just our excuse to see each other once a week.
That's fair. That's good. It's good because look, especially I don't know how much you guys talk. Like if you guys talk as often. Is that me or is that you?
No, that was us.
Okay, I was like, Jesus Christ, something's dying. No. But I think in your guys' case, it would probably be better off if you didn't, which is going to sound weird, right? If you didn't talk as much, and then when you hung out again to do the podcast, you guys are like, oh, well, this is going on, this is going on in my life, blah, blah, blah. But for me, I definitely have to find new people, and then I have to make sure that whenever I'm speaking to them, that they feel comfortable, and that I have to make sure I'm comfortable when I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
It's just like walking up to some veteran in a room and be like, "Hey, so what's up with you?"
So do you also have PTSD or what? What's good?
Yeah. Are you also a little fucking fucked up? Like, what's going on?
Here's the mic. How's your liver?
Yeah. Like, how's life been afterwards? It's just it definitely makes it a little bit challenging. I don't want to say difficult, but I guess challenging when it comes to just getting guests on, and a lot of them have been friends, which is good. But there's been 2 or 3 people who I don't know at all.
Yeah.
So it's been but I feel like they went well. Some stories got real serious and real emotional, but that's just what it is when you're talking about a subject like that,
Yeah, for sure. And
Darn
I mean,
shame.
yeah, I mean, and like I was telling you before, before you even started, I was like, dude, that's a great idea. Because, like, I mean,
Thank you.
because, like, you have podcasts like the Joe Rogan podcast or like the Jocko podcast where,
Yeah.
sometimes they do have those serious topics on there, but, like, at the end of the day, like, that's not all they're about necessarily. And I feel like yours is, like, especially just being on it for one, I think it was like it was nice to be able to be like, okay, like, this is what I went through. Here's how, I live my life. And, like, how, people
Right.
don't look at you and, like, with this, like, weird stigma where it's like, a police academy won't hire a vet because they think they're fucking crazy because, they deployed a couple
Right.
of times or whatever. And so, I really appreciated it. And I'm sure, all the other guests that you've had on have also felt the same way. And so again, like I said, I'm 100% behind you. And I'm not saying that just because I'm your friend. But like straight
and we're
up, like,
filming? No, I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
exactly. like even like on a base level, like there's no way that there's like this isn't a good idea. So for those of you who are listening right now,
Thank you,
you
man.
need to go check it out.
Yeah, do it. Or we'll
Thank
find
you. I appreciate it. We'll
Last thing
find
you
you.
want-
Click clap.
Yeah. Last
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
you
yeah.
want is 2 fat white dudes from Colorado showing up at your doorstep like, hey, bud.
Yeah, dude. Have you heard what white people do, bro? Are you kidding me? Of course.
We're not even wearing masks.
I know. Oh, God.
Wait,
They got me
Hold
fucking
on.
through. Oh, there you go.
we got the vid. I'm
He is. I'm fine.
strapped, bro. Hold
Didn't
on.
they say those things are even, like, worse?
Yeah.
It might be, but I'm
There
good
you
to
go.
go
Didn't they
here.
say-
As long as the nose is covered. That's,
Yeah. You're good. Because then they can't get into your nostrils, right?
That's
And
what
then
I'm saying.
That's about the only.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, like a bunch of the guests and a bunch of the people who have been on, I've gotten nothing but good feedback, and it feels good and everything, and it just feels like it's so much work, and I don't know. It's very easy to get caught up in your own life and then just kind of not put it at the front of your list. I'm sure sometimes you guys don't feel like doing it as well, where you're just like, fuck, like I gotta fucking. And it's easy. Well, not easy, but you're just talking. You're just bullshitting. You're shooting the shit with your friend, and simple enough. But sometimes you just don't have the energy, or you're tired, or you're just not in the fucking mood in general. I mean, I'm sure you guys experience that, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
get distracted watching YouTube videos and like,
Oh.
y'all, it's midnight. We need to do it or it's
Yeah.
not happening.
Like
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's happening.
yeah, like there was an episode probably like 3 or 4 episodes ago. I had to work the same night that we record.
Yep.
So I got off of work and I was driving to his apartment and I was like, yo, I'm fucking exhausted. And I was like, yo, I need to tell him, like, dude, like, we cannot dick around. Like, we gotta record this as soon as I get to your house. Because, like, I need to go home,
Yeah.
dude. Like, I'll take care of everything else
I'm
tomorrow.
fucking done.
And, like, so I get to his house and he's like, dude, I'm in the same boat. Like, let's just go. Like, I don't have time. I got stuff to do tomorrow anyway. And
It was a good episode, don't get me wrong, but you could tell I was like
Yeah, you could-
slunged over like
yeah,
this.
and I think that's the funny thing is, like, with how many episodes we have done, I think you can kind of tell just by listening, like, what kind of, like, how awake we are
Tone.
and, like, how, like,
Yeah.
into it that we're trying to be. And it's like, sometimes I'm like, dude, I don't want to be here right now. I'm, like, at my house and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I want to cut this fucker short and, like, have, like, a 20-minute episode. But then I'm like, no, it'll get better. And then obviously,
Yeah.
typically I will drink while we record. And so throughout the episode, you get a little bit more lively, you enjoy yourself a little bit more.
Of course.
You know, there is that aspect of it, and you know, so
I just think it's funny when you can be like, Brendan's farther away, but the truth is I'm just laying down on the couch.
yeah, because like
trying to yell.
Dude, for real, exactly, and like
that's how it is sometimes, man. Sometimes you just don't fucking feel it, and you want to do it obviously because it's your guys' fucking thing, and you want to keep it going. But for example, I did this one where her name was Abigail. She's in, forgot the country, but she was on the other side of the world, dude. And I had to get up at 7 a.m. or something, and it's not crazy early, right? But it was my day off. I had to get up stupid. I got up dummy early, made myself. I think I had like 2 coffees while we were talking. And we had a conversation. But I was just, when I woke up, I was like, "Fuck, I really want to move this up." You know, like I want to make it a little bit later.
You hear that, Abigail?
I did it. It was fucking good. You know, I really enjoyed it. It ended up being a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because there's definitely been times where like we'll be talking about something. Like, because for the most part, like, we don't have, like, we won't make, like, a list of topics to talk about before we record. We'll kind of just go into it, and we'll just start shooting the shit. And, but there have been times where we'll be talking about something, and I'm like, I don't know if this is, like, a safe conversation to have. Like, I don't know if this is something that people are going to hear, and they're going to be like, what? Like, that's your guys' viewpoint?
Yeah.
Or, like, I'm like, yo, I'm kind of not feeling this conversation, but I don't know how to, like, change the subject.
How to,
how to segue out of it. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, I don't know, man. And there's been definite times where, like, I'm like, yo, this isn't fucking happening. Like, there's no fucking way.
I think we've done a good job about segueing out.
Yeah, for the most part.
It's been smooth. I haven't noticed anything like, oh, let's change the topic. You know,
no, because
when you and go ahead.
I was gonna say because that's what we try to do is like once we both will detect something, we'll be like, yeah, but anyway, and we'll just move on.
That's how you guys do it.
Yeah, just be like that. But anyway,
smooth.
Yeah, and so like, and I think it does help that we've known each other for so long that we can kind of like read how the conversation is going and be like, well, I don't feel like talking about this shit anymore. Let's fucking talk about something else. Or like he'll do a really good job. Like if I start going off on like certain tangents, he'll be like, well, you know, come on, you know, let's do something else.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Reel it back. Yeah. It also helps that you guys are in person, like that you guys are there in person because you can read each other's fucking body language, or you guys could just be like, let's fucking move up. Like, you and I did our first one. Not only was I super high, so high. I was very anxious. I was dummy anxious. Like I was so nervous. I like when I look back at our first interview when I'm talking to you, I was like, fuck, man, like god damn it, and like just very nervous, and I could tell the difference already from, you know, the first one you and I did, and my 8th one that I did with Starling. I actually did a number 4, and I still haven't posted episode 4 because the audio was a little shitty. Jacob Haley, he got way too intoxicated. Like we drank a lot. It was a very drunk, and it was almost like 3 hours that we were talking for. It was a really, and the length of it didn't bother me. It was just the audio, because I don't want it to sound, you know, shitty, because then people don't really want to hear it when they hear that background. Like when I cleaned up yours and I, the podcast, you know how there was that fan noise in the background, and then I cleaned it up fucking after I learned how to clean that shit up. That just comes for me with experience, and I guess being better at doing that shit. Let me know if my internet's being a little crappy, okay? If I have to do something.
Oh no, I just so far so good.
Don't worry, I'll let you know. I don't know you like that, so I can say who the fuck.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Fuck.
I know he's your friend, but ooh, tell him.
I'm talking about Red Dead, by the way. And also, I guess just as a clarification for whoever listens, we're bullshitting. we're talking shit. You know, it's amongst friends. There's nothing extremely serious behind anything that I say. It's just talking shit.
And I think that's part of, like, you know, like, especially with you and I, where having that, like, that military background, like, it's just what you do, and, like, that's kind of how you, like, bond, essentially. Whereas, like, people out in real life, like, you can't really, like, you have to kind of be careful with who you talk shit to. Because I remember when I came to Seattle to see you a couple years back, you were telling me about one of the guys that you were working with, and he was being, like, a real douche. And you're like, hey, motherfucker, like, you can't talk to me like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, dude, it's because people... Not only do I have an anger problem, but, like, when I feel like I'm being disrespected, then I just have the need to fucking be like, is there a fucking problem? You know, like, do we have to, like... And it's not like I'm gonna beat your ass, like, can you just tell me what the problem is so we can get over it and then just deal with it like adults, you know, so we can actually work. Because that's how it should be. Like, don't beat around the bush and be dramatic about it.
That's how I am. I don't let people just get all randy, like, wildly saying what they want. I'm like, whoo, hold up. Real quick.
Yes.
Who?
Slow down.
Who are you?
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, like,
I just think
we roast each other. It's just what we do. Like, as men, too, it's just something that we do. Like, here's an example today. We were going somewhere because we had to go do something at a doctor's office, and there's this store called Fruitland, and I was like, hey, B, it's your store.
Yes!
He didn't notice at first. He was like, the Chinese place? I was like, no, Fruitland.
Yeah, you fucking fruity. Yeah. Oh god, that's how it is. I mean, and you guys are fucking super good friends, you know. So it's just that's how it fucking goes. Man.
Yeah, like I'd never be like, hey, Rubio, here's your store right there, Fruitland. Yeah,
nah, I'm joking.
One day, but not out the gate.
Good, yeah.
You don't meet someone and be like, what up, Fruitland?
Yeah. You gotta feel people out. You gotta read people. You can't just. So whenever I meet somebody, I just kind of talk to them, and then I feel people out. I try to read them and just see what type of, I guess, sense of humor they have, because you never know, especially nowadays, where it's just people are used to not, one, being called out on their shit, and two, everybody's super soft when it comes to any sort of subject.
Way too soft.
So, yeah.
Like, hey, man, how's it going? It's
weird.
women. Oh, my bad.
That's not it either, you know?
And it's, yeah, you're just lost in the sauce all the time.
How'd I get a 50-50 wrong?
So that actually happens to me. Like, when I was in high school,
Oh, no.
I had a summer job, and the job is I would go door to door to try to set up like leads for salespeople for a window company. So for the most part, you know, you knock on the door, nobody answers, you just leave a little flyer, and then you go on to the next. Well, every once in a while, someone would answer their door, and sometimes you'd be able to see the person plain as day, no big deal. So I'm at this house, and so there's a screen door, but it's like dark inside the house. So I'm talking to this individual, and I was like, yeah, my name's Brandon, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, I'm not interested. I said, well, you have a good day then, sir. And it turns out that this individual probably smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And she goes, it's ma'am. And then slammed the door in my face. And I remember I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, I didn't even get the chance to apologize. And I was like, whatever, dude. I just chalked it up as a defeat and just fucking walked away.
You were like a dirtbag salesman at that point. Like, I didn't get the sale? Okay, sir.
Yeah. You're like, oh, sorry about that, sir. You say it again.
Yeah, it's like all right. And it's like, and it's one of those things where it's not like I was like trying to do it on purpose or anything, obviously, but like I can't see what you look like. I'm only hearing your voice, and I'm sorry to say, but it sounded kind of manly.
It's too late, B.
Sound a little on the deeper side.
Yeah, and so
what are you gonna do?
being like a 16-year-old kid, I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, that was kind of weird. I was like, oh well, it's bound to happen at some point.
You had a lot of things happen at that job.
Definitely.
Yeah, I did. There's a lot.
You used some poor lady's restroom.
Oh yeah, dude.
Did he tell you that story about him using somebody's
Did
bathroom?
you blow it up?
Yeah.
And she was in the office, like right across from him, staring that way.
So.
I did. Go ahead.
So, I don't remember if I ever told you that story about how I had to use the restroom at that lady's house. So.
No, I don't think so. But it sounds fucking funny.
So, we would start off, like, we'd go to the office, and they'd be like, all right, well, blah, 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 like a little team meeting or whatever, and then they'd be like, all right, cool, this is where we're going to go today. And then you'd go to that area of town, and they would give you, like, they would kind of just drop you off at, like, certain random points in that area. You'd do that for a couple of hours, and then at, like, 3 or 4, we would go out, and we'd all get picked back up, and then we'd go out to, like, get food. And so we happens to be next to one of the malls here in town, and so I eat, don't think anything of it. I get dropped off. I swear to God, I'm not off of that van for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden, got a little bubble gut. I was like, oh, dude, I think
a little Rubio gut, dude.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I think I got shit. So I was like, well, I think I should be all right. I keep walking. I said, no, dude, I got shit. So I called my supervisor. I was like, yo, I know you just dropped me off, but, like, I gotta, like, go to the bathroom. And he's like, are you serious? And I was like, dude, I'm being dead serious. Like, I'm not gonna, like, lie about that. Like, who do you think I am? And he's like, well, I still gotta drop everybody else off. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. He's like, do you think you could survive till then? And I said, I mean, I can try. I don't know, though. And so, I'm walking, like 5 minutes go by. And I said, yo, this ain't happening. So I knock on this fucking door. And the lady answers. So, not to, like, be rude or anything, but, like, I, like, give her my little spiel to start off with. She goes, oh, no, like, we rent, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I'm not in charge of, like, a decision like that. So, it's going to be a no for me. And I said, well, okay, that's fine. And then she, like, goes to, like, start closing the door. And I was like, can I ask you something that kind of random? And she goes, sure, what's up? And I was like, would it be possible if I could use your restroom? I didn't get the chance to go before they dropped me back off. She goes, yeah, for sure. It's just down the stairs, and it's the first door on the left. So I said, all right, cool. So I go in there. 2 things already wrong with this situation. 1, it's somebody's house. I've never met this person before in my life. And 2, there's no doorknob on the door to the bathroom because they were, like, remodeling. And so I have to close this door, and, dude, just... I start blowing it up, bro. And...
Battlefield theme song.
And what's fucked up is through the door, through the little fucking hole in the door, I can see her, like, working from home.
Oh, no.
And so the whole time I'm sitting, I was like, yo, there ain't no way she can't fucking hear me. Like, there's no way that she can't fucking... Dude, she has to know what's going on. And so I get done, and I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I really appreciate it. And she goes, yeah, no problem. And she, like, tries to hand me a bottle of water. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good, thank you. And she goes, no, like, I think you should take this for real. And so I take the bottle of water. And I was like, all right, sweet, thank you. Have a great day. And so I leave the house. And, like, right at that moment, my supervisor pulled up. And he was like, hey, man, do you still need to use the bathroom? I said, nope, I'm good. And he goes... did you do what I think you just did? And I said, dude, he's like, I had to, man. I was like, I'm not going to shit my fucking pants. And he goes, Jesus Christ. And then he just, like, drives off.
Oh, no.
I'm surprised you didn't just start running. Like, I'm not.
Oh, my God.
That poor lady.
I thought you were gonna tell me that you tried flushing and the motherfucker wouldn't.
Oh no, dude! If that was the case, I would have been like, "Yep, I'm out of here." Audi
Yeah,
5000,
just
bro.
down. Yeah.
I did
That happened
that
to me at a really good friend's house of mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, disgusting. I couldn't unclog the bitch. Actually, he didn't even have a plunger. It was like my first or second time in his. Who, right? Who doesn't? It's like the second time I'd been to his house. And his mom was really nice, and I was like, "Hey man, I gotta fucking drop a little poopy." So then he lets me in, and I fucking go, and I'm done. I think everything's solid, and I flush. Nothing. Well, it tries, right? But gaping asshole syndrome, so I just drop big ass ones. It doesn't fucking go, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, dude. Oh my god, what the fuck? And I'm looking around for a fucking plunger. Don't find anything. Check underneath the sink, because you never know. People are weird. Don't fucking find anything. And then I just go outside to his room, and I'm like, hey man, toilet won't flush. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, yeah, dude, I fucking clogged your toilet. And then he's like, oh, let me go take a look. Like, who the fuck is that, right? Yeah. Let me go look at it. Yeah, you flush it better, bro. Go ahead. And then he couldn't fucking do it. And he's like, well, I mean, I'll tell my mom to buy a plunger. Because she had gone to the store. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but she had gone to the store. She wasn't home. And my douchey ass, I was embarrassed. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking get the fuck out of here. They're gonna have to deal with it. Like, I was just like, I'm out, dude. It took me like a month or something to go back to that dude's house because I was just so fucking embarrassed that I fucking left my little piece of turd in there. I couldn't. I fucking clogged their toilet. Oh my god, dude.
You didn't unclog it with your bare hand?
Tried, dude. I couldn't. Nah, I'm just joking.
I did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You fucking...
Yeah, it was a senior get-together for like our senior year. He was there. That was at my friend Bryce's house. Everyone was there. I used the bathroom. I clogged the toilet.
This is fucking dumb.
Well, welcome back. We'll wait for the video, and I'll give you the full synopsis of what happened.
Yeah. Let's
All
hear
right.
you fucking...
There he goes.
Sorry about that, guys.
So,
Sorry
you're
about
good,
that.
you're
Don't be. The internet's a wild place. So,
Wild.
there was a story by this guy from Rooster Teeth named Michael Jones, and he talks about clogging the toilet and unclogging it with his bare hands by punching it. So I said, well, it came out of me. You know, these are rich folks' houses. So I went to the bowl. I lifted my hand up. I went, punched it through, flushed it, washed my hands up. I went back out there like, you okay? I was like, I had to unclog your toilet. Couldn't find a plunger. And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, man, I had to.
And so we're all like, oh my god, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, go away, you nasty fuck.
I'm a
We're all
man,
just
man.
screaming at him.
I'm a man.
They were
man.
like, the plunger was behind the toilet.
Man, I ain't got time to look. I was in fight or flight mode. There was not, all right, rationally think about everything. It was, this ain't my house.
Sometimes... That's how it is, man. That's how it is sometimes. I didn't go that far, you know. You're more of a man than I, for sure.
Hey, I ain't gonna let his mom walk down here and be like, oh, Brandon. No, I like your mom too much, bro. I still want a chance.
How does that work? Like,
Well-
you just...
Well, you take your fist. You put it in
Right.
Kind of like
Put it in the
spearfishing.
hole, yeah?
Yeah, like spearfishing, right?
Okay.
But instead of a spear and fish, it's your hand and turds. And you're just going... But then you kind of get a little weirded out because you're like, man, not only am I smashing my turds, but there's piss in here too. It's kind of cold.
Piss.
Yeah, it's
little bit of
cold,
hair.
but it's
Yeah,
warm
yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time. And the teepee's in there, and you're like,
Mushy.
I didn't want to touch the teepee, but here I am, like wet bread, just.
Wet fucking bread, dude. Jesus Christ.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Sometimes that's just how it is, you know?
as long as it was clean enough for me to leave and someone else clog it next visit, more power.
Yeah. It wasn't your name that was getting tainted, just your arm.
Yeah, man. I washed it. It's still good. See, like, worked fine.
No permanent brown. Yeah. Did you put that tattoo on your forearm for covering?
Yeah, man. Cover it up. That'd be a cool battle scar, though. Just like turd.
That Vegeta in there.
Yeah. So I got the Prince of All Saiyans right here.
Oh shit!
And then right there, I got Kid Buu.
Kid Buu. Wait, like a Buu, like fucking Majin Buu?
Oh, you can't see it. I'm sorry. It's all twisted.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
dude. Holy shit!
It's kind of hard to see it, but
Nice.
got to get them colored in and stuff. But I have a problem. Got to get the ink.
You gonna
first.
get it colored in or what?
Yeah, I'll figure it out after. I keep having this thing where it's like I have too many ideas of things I want, so I'm trying to get all the spacing out first and then worry about colors. But it's kind of unfortunate because since the Vegeta's not colored, people see this sometimes.
It does. What the fuck you got on your forearm, bro?
I'm
Dude,
like,
is that a dick?
Vegeta. And they're like,
oh shit.
I could never be a Marine.
A Marin? I don't even have any moto tattoos. I've been thinking about it, and I was like, I keep on forgetting to ask you about it, Parody. But I don't want to go into too much because it's a little extra. It'd be like fucking all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would look cool. I got a decent idea, but it would involve the blue diamond, a banner, and it's supermoto and like an EGA.
For sure. I mean,
But
to those of you who don't know what I look like without a t-shirt on, I have
Take it off. It's on video.
I have 2 moto tats, and what's funny is I got the first one. I hadn't even been in the Marine Corps probably 6 months, honestly, and so I got my first one, and then I was about 6 months away from getting out, and then a bunch of us went and got blue diamonds, and
you got your blue diamond too, fucker?
yeah.
He got a lot.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that one was pretty goddamn painful. Not gonna
Is
lie.
it really? Is it because of the filling in or what?
Well, so it's on the back of my tricep,
Oh,
and so I thought
okay.
to myself, like the dumbass that I am, I was like, oh, your tricep's pretty meaty, like it's not gonna hurt that bad. But
Yeah.
he started fucking just doing like the outline. And I was like, yo, holy shit, this is about to suck ass, dude. Like, this fucking hurts.
Not bad, huh?
And because think about it. Someone pinches the back of your tricep, that shit hurts. Like, really
It's
fucking
true.
bad. Like,
Oh, it
really
hurts
fucking
a lot
bad.
more, yeah. Real
And so,
bad.
just, you think about it. You're just getting fucking punctured with this needle for hours in that spot. And so, he's like, so he's doing, like, all of the coloring at this point, and he's like, yeah, man, like, we're about halfway done. We're going to take a little bit of a break. You can stretch out, smoke a cigarette, whatever. And so I look at it, and he's got, like, the first, like, third of it done. And he hasn't even done the one yet. And I said, oh, no. I was like, yo.
Damn.
That's the tattoo artist's lie. Oh, it's halfway there. Don't
And
worry.
so I think that one took, like, a total of probably, like, 3 hours or so. And that shit,
Really?
dude, it was rough.
That's not bad
It was
for 3
rough.
hours.
I mean, it's not bad for 3 hours.
That took 8,
This took 5.
5. Longer than it should have.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like my chest took 5, and that was only because I was like, no, I got to get this done because I go on leave in like 10 hours.
Well, maybe it's also
I
because all the
remember when you
coloring
got
in
that one.
lines.
That was a cool one.
Yeah, because the one that's on my
Where
forearm.
would you say is the most painful part?
Of which one?
The ones that you have.
My chest probably hurt the worst out of all of them, just because.
Is it because it's bonier or what?
So when she was doing my collarbone, that was nothing. That was a cakewalk compared to when she started doing my sternum. And yo, cause like my sternum is it's nothing but color. And so she's like got to get the shading and stuff right, and I was like, dude, holy shit, that one, it was rough. Like, I had like other tattoo artists coming up, and they were like, yo, you're a fucking champ for just laying there like that. Like, I don't see very many people do a chest piece in one sitting like that, especially with that much color.
While the tear goes down your face.
Yeah. Thanks.
Dude, and like, and it's funny. So like, I told her specifically. She's like, "Well, is there anywhere that like you don't want the tattoo to go to?" And I said, "Well, it's gonna sound kind of dumb, but I don't want you to tattoo my nipples. Like, I don't want that at all." So she goes, "Okay, we'll work around them. No big deal. It happens all the time." And so, you know, obviously, your body thinks that you're getting fucking like physically hurt, which I mean, you are. So your body starts, you know, trying to send endorphins and all that shit, and you kind of get like a little bit of an adrenaline rush. But you're also tensing up the whole time. So, you know, if you flex your chest hard enough, your nipples will start to get hard. And so my
if they get flicked a little bit, they'll get hard.
Yeah, dude, straight up. Like, and so my shits was getting so fucking tight. My nipples felt like they were burning, dude. And so I was telling her at one point, I was like, yo, if I had no idea that you weren't tattooing my nipples, I would swear to Christ that you were. And she goes, really? And I was like, yeah, they're on fucking fire right now. I was like, yo, they hurt bad.
Jesus.
Do you have any ink?
Why? Why is... I don't have anything. Nothing. I'm a clean soul. I'm going to heaven, dude.
This one is probably the one that hurt the most, which is also why I'm waiting the longest. Because they say that if you do white coloring, white is what hurts the most too. And so the whites will be like, I can't really see, but here on the boot and like on the gloves. Yeah. But this one hurt the most because it's right across the fucking bone.
That bone.
And so every time, and he was there when I got it done, and I was going, golly, bro. Yeah, like this foot, everything on the bone. This hurt enough to where I was like, okay, that sucks. My Jesus one didn't hurt nearly as much. This one didn't hurt nearly as much on this arm. And then my Kanye one on my leg, on my calf, they were like, well, the calf's really painful. Didn't hurt that much. I mean, it gets to the point where your leg kind of gets annoyed, and you're trying not to, but it hits a spasm.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not trying to kick you. Please don't mess up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it didn't hurt nearly as much. This one, though, oh, my God. Bones, personally, I don't know. Some people, they think the bone hurts less than the muscle, but with me, I'm pudgy in the chest, but my arms ain't too pudgy, so I'm just like,
fucking hurt.
Emo kids do it, bro. Too much.
Nice. Yeah, I almost got a tattoo in the schoolhouse like most of the Marines do when they fucking first start out. You know how everybody's
all still super fucking moto
at the schoolhouse and shit. Yeah, they haven't been completely mentally fucking destroyed yet. But I didn't. I wanted to, and I still want to, just because it was such a big part of our lives. You know, it wasn't anything super fucking small. I'd like to think.
Yeah, for sure.
Get the Majin M on your forehead.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, be Majin Rubio.
I'm a fat ass vein, dude. I'll die. I'll die immediately.
So like that's the funny thing. So when I got this one on my arm, I thought the same thing, because I was like, yo, like he's gonna go right over that fucking vein on my wrist. Like, I'm just like, he's gonna start going over. I'm just gonna fucking bleed out right in the fucking tattoo parlor.
Yeah.
Because he's a little high too. You smoke weed.
And you know, so I was like, well, all right. I was expecting it to bleed like a decent amount just because of where it's at, and I was like, you know, there's not like a ton of skin there to stop that fucking needle. Like, that motherfucker's is going deep. Like, there's no way the needle's not going like into your vein.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't bleed near as much as I thought I would in that one spot, but like other spots, like on that tattoo, I bled like a motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah, and he was like, do you normally bleed this much when you get tattoos? And I was like, no. And he goes, huh? Oh well, it happens.
Dude was
just
weird.
Keep going.
That dude was super weird though. Super fucking weird.
Because we went in. First thing he asked us, not, how's your day going? It's, hey, do you guys smoke weed? And Brandon's like, I mean, sometimes
you go to the Fruit Loop store.
Hey, Fruitland.
Yeah, you go Fruitland while you smoke your weed.
Yeah.
And Brandon was like, well, Sometimes, I guess, sure. And this
He just pulls out a fucking sandwich bag that's
Full.
like a quarter of the way full with weed,
Points.
and he just goes, "Here you go."
just nugs.
And we're like, what the fuck?
And he said, first customers of the day get the. And I was like, what? I don't smoke.
Dude, we're like, yo, what the hell's going on? And so he's like, yeah, me and my buddy grow weed at my house since it's legal now. And I got like 80 pounds of this shit at my house. And I can't get rid of it fast enough, so...
He was an Army veteran, too, former Army.
Oh, that's true. He used to be in the Army, like, way back in the day. Because when I was getting that tattoo, he was asking me about it. He was like, yeah, man, I remember when I was in Desert Storm and blah, blah, blah. But it, like, sounded really weird, like, how he was talking about it.
But it was never anything over the top, like, well, I killed a man. It was, man, I fucking hated the desert. But you know what? I did it.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Unlike those people.
Seriously.
I killed 5
That's
people.
something
Who says that?
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily brag about killing people. I don't think so. I've spoken with one guy with that was one of the reasons that I joined the Marine Corps. I met him on Xbox. He was like, and just because I knew he was in like Fallujah and shit like that, and I was like, you ever have to like fucking just unload on people? And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, I had to do that a few times, and I was like, but he never went into like super detailed about it. He was just
because it's not something you want to talk
Yeah,
about.
for
It
sure.
seems like that takes a lot. It's on like me in the video game on Red Dead, just on the minigun, just like.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though.
They're like, I really ended somebody's whole existence. Like,
Yeah.
one moment they were on the earth, next minute they were gone forever, and you're like, how do you live with that? And they're like, no. Like, I don't. Like, oh my god, let's not talk about that. You know, like that's a lot. Because I had watched this thing with these Marines, and like it's like these two, they're older guys, but they go over like just different things in video games and like what's realistic and what's not, like in Call of Duty. And they were talking about it.
Okay.
And this guy was like, yeah, so do you know how many confirmed kills you have? And the guy was like, who keeps track of that kind of thing? He's like, who the fuck talks about that? He's like, I'm not going out there like, add another one to the board. He's like, I'm more worried about me not dying over there than if I have to hurt somebody. He's like, who keeps track of that stuff?
I think only specific people are meant to keep track of it, like snipers, right? I think snipers have to confirm their kills. Isn't that what it is?
I wouldn't know if I don't know if they'd necessarily have to keep track or if somebody else just keeps track, like officers who are in charge and they're like, hey, like, you know, like they might ask about it, but I'd have no idea.
Well, that would make sense because, like, you would probably be a sniper, have something happen, and give the information to somebody else. Because, again, that's probably not what you're keeping track of. You're probably keeping track of make sure I get the right person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to
I think it's probably all part of the brief. It's probably just a part of a brief that you have to give whenever you come back, kind of like doing a patrol, and then you come back and you be like, hey, this is what happened. This is the sit rep. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
This is what you did.
They know if you're lying. Yeah, I got the target next day. No, you fucking didn't. He's right there.
There's like that mission in Red Dead where he's like, no, that's not the Alfredo Montez, but that's his brother.
Oh yeah. Just a fucking carrying the head, dude. Just,
You say, all right,
throws
just
it off
fucking
like a
tosses
fucking
it in the
frisbee,
woods for the
dude.
wolves.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that nowadays, man. You'd be like, I think I got the right guy. God damn it, that's a bus driver. Nah, well, throw him out to the wolf. They all look the same over here. They got their face covered.
That fucking game.
They all have a beard.
Goddamn
What's the
game.
difference?
Yeah. Montez, Ares, whatever. Nah, I'm joking.
Montez, Gonzalez, all ends with the "ez" as far as I'm concerned.
So I'll have to ask you guys a question. What inspired you guys to fucking start doing this?
Oh, shit.
Being told to.
So, I think there's a combination of people who are like, yeah, I think you guys would be really good at it. The fact that, like, every once in a while, we would kind of like sit there and we would bullshit. We'd be like, dude, if we recorded our conversations, I'm sure we could get famous. Enough people would probably find us funny to actually like listen to what we got to say.
Right.
That started like 5 years ago. So we always had this idea. Obviously, I was in the Marine Corps at the time, so there wasn't like a real feasible way to do it. I get out. We still talk about it. He lives with me for like a year. Still talking about it. And what's funny is I actually bought this mic right here that we're using while he lived with me, because that was the whole idea, was like, oh, if we buy a mic, we won't have an excuse to not do a podcast. And then we never did. He moves out. He's moved out at this point for probably like 8 months or so. And then we're finally like, dude, like, let's just do it. Like, we'll do it on a Thursday. We'll figure all this shit out. Like, I'll figure out how to do like the technical side of shit. After that, and then like I was like, dude, we'll figure it out. And so we recorded that first episode last April, I want to say. And it kind of just, we had a couple of episodes, and then shit just kind of fell apart for a little bit there, just because of life, and like you were saying earlier, like it wasn't like the forefront idea like on our minds at the time. And there wasn't anything bad between us. So nobody thinks, oh, y'all were beefing. No, none of that. It was just different things were going on.
Right. Well, that's why I was saying earlier that it's very easy to kind of just lose track of the fact that you want to do it and that you're trying to keep going. Like, I have one scheduled for tomorrow. It's going to be a Army vet, and he's a firefighter that was fighting the fires in Oregon, which I think should be pretty fucking cool. But before that, I wasn't like, it's kind of crappy, but I wasn't like actively looking to talk to somebody else, even though in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, I should do it, because I went through this shit myself, I experienced it, you've experienced it, Parody, a few of our boys have experienced it, and I just feel like it's definitely something that has to get out there, and it's just, why am I starting it if I'm not going to continue helping people or trying to help people?
Yeah, and he'll always attest to that as well. When he tells people about it, like when we go places, he's like, look, like we do this like for us, because like he said, it's an excuse for us to hang out, and then on top of that, like you should just be able to take like an hour out of your day to just listen to some like two idiots just talk about absolutely nothing for an hour and just enjoy yourself. And I think that's part of the reason why we also did it, because we both kind of grew up with aspirations of like wanting to be like I guess like stand-up comedians, or like we're like, oh, we're both pretty funny, like ha ha ha, and
I ain't gonna let you boo me off stage though.
Yeah. Or like, cause like even like when I had first got out and you and I would play Battlefield like all the time, and you're like, dude, we should just start streaming, like fuck it.
Yeah.
And you kept telling me, you're like, dude, I think you'd be really good at it, because he's like, dude, you're super funny, and like I think like you'd like have the like the tools to like entertain people. Like, even though, like, you, like, like you used to say, like, you might not be good at this game, but, like, you're fucking hilarious. And, like, that's part of the reason why people watch people stream.
I think we would tell you even when you were in the service, like, dude, you're fucking funny. Like, we would tell you all the time, like, you're fucking hilarious.
I remember that one time you and I were leaving the chow hall, and we get back in your car, and I had said something, and you're like, hey man, I got a question. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And you were like, where do you get all your jokes from? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, and you were like, yeah, like, we're like, how are you so funny? Like, you got to get your jokes from somewhere. Like, there's no way that you just like come up with this shit like off the top of your head. Like, where do you like, what website do you use to like get these jokes? And I was like, dude, like, I don't use a website. Like, I swear to God, like, I'm just talking. And you're like, no, dude, you definitely use a website. And I was like, please don't do this to me.
www.funny.com. howtobefunny.com. That's the website. Copyright pending.
No. And that's what I've always said is I was like, on Twitch, if you're gaming or anything and streaming, it's like you got two options. One, be good at the fucking game, or two, just be a funny person. Because people don't care if you're really bad. Yeah, because you could be the worst person at the game, but if you're making it enjoyable, they're going to be like, oh, wow, this guy's funny. I'm not watching for the gameplay. I'm watching for the guy. Alternatively, people watching speedruns, I'm watching for the gameplay. I want to see what he does. And it's like that kind of diversity. Right. Alternatively, you could be hilarious and good at the game, and it's just kind of like, wow, you're talking all this smack, I'm laughing, and you're winning? Wow.
Some people...
Yo, go ahead.
No, you're the guest.
I was just thinking that. Okay. I was just thinking some people do come to a stream to see like the game, right? But then they're like, oh, this guy's fucking funny, or this guy's entertaining, and they end up just coming back for just that specific reason. It's not necessarily just the game. Like people watch Skyrim, for example, which you still got to do because it would be great. Yeah, like people would totally fucking watch that shit, especially Skyrim. I think you could get some good fucking jokes off of Skyrim for sure.
Oh, 100%. And that's part of the reason, because so like when I was looking to start all of that, so I was like, okay, because I had figured out through him actually how to record and like make videos for YouTube like right off your PlayStation, and like how to directly record the gameplay. So I was like, okay, well, let me see how much Skyrim is on the store, so I can just download it, and then I can just do it like that, rather than having to like physically go buy a copy of Skyrim.
Right.
And I think at the time it was like $40 for the special edition.
Still.
And I didn't have the fucking money at the time. Like I had like zero money, and so I was like, well, fuck. I was like, what other PlayStation game do I have that I can kind of like not necessarily have to pay attention to, but still play? And I was like, oh shit, I saw Fallout 4 for my PlayStation, and I was like, oh, I'll just do that instead, and I'll just fucking create this idiot who's like, he's like the dumbest character on the planet, and like, he like just goes around, doesn't wear armor, and just beats people up with his fucking hands.
Yeah.
Craw McGraw.
And name him Craw McGraw because that's something that him and I had come up with when he was living with me, when we were talking about creating a Skyrim Let's Play with the exact same concept, where it was just this guy who's just a Nord who would just run around in a loincloth and just beat people up. And like there would be no story progression.
Just guns, dude.
And just try to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, man. He's just cool. Because that whole idea came from us playing Rainbow Six Siege. Because there was a guy named Capcan, and I kept calling him Craw McGraw.
That's right.
Because I was like, what's that Marine Corps fight tactic that y'all have? Craw McGraw.
Got.
And that's what happened. And then Craw McGraw was born.
And so, obviously, like, that idea is still, like, a thing. Like, I still have that idea of trying to do that. But, with the current job that I have, it's like I'm, like, way too stressed out a lot of the time. And so by the time that I do get home, it's really late at night anyway. And my days off, I'm like, dude, I don't want to do shit. Like, I don't want to sit here and, like, play a game. And, like, it just, like, turns out to be, like, shit. Like, I'd have to, like, And so I'm kind of hoping with my new job that I kind of am able to,
Weeks, bitch.
have like have like an actual, not being stressed out all the time, and that's something that I can go back to. So so hopefully soon something will be out there.
Yeah.
I tried.
Having the energy and having the energy and the mood to actually fucking want to do it, is a big thing. You can't just go in there and be like, all right, everybody, welcome to another, let's play of fucking Fallout 4. Krav Maga beats up fucking all of fucking, Nuketown or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Unless that was your character you were going for, just like, I don't know what I'm doing, man.
That's what
It's fucking life. Yeah, you could just be straight up on fucking jet all day, dude.
Fallout 4, drug addict takes on the waste.
Yeah, San Francisco documentary.
And that's what him and I were. So I don't know what prompted this to. Oh, because I was about to. So I was about to start watching Dragon Ball Super last night, and so you know how on the Xbox home screen, how sometimes they'll have ads for certain games, like on Game Pass or whatever. Well, so I had seen an ad for Farming Simulator, and I didn't think anything of it. And then so I start watching Super, and I was like, wait a second. I paused it, and I text Brendan. I was like, bro, we should stream Farming Simulator. And he goes, number one, I hate that game, but two, I'm in. And I was like, dude, think about it. We'll dress up like farmers, and we'll just talk mad shit about Democrats, about how it's Obama's fault that, like, our crops aren't growing. And everybody's a snowflake.
Yeah.
You know, back in my day, my daddy made me plow these fields with my bare hands 2 ways in the snow and a blizzard.
This is agricultural appropriation, if you ask me.
I grow 2 things here, corn and tobacco.
Buy a fucking fake pipe. You just have it in your mouth as you're streaming and everything.
Let me tell you something about them Democrats.
Let me tell you something about that Obamacare. He don't care about my crops, so I don't understand why it's called Obamacare.
Hey, it's okay. My sister's cousin's nephew is black.
Oh, no. I can say that?
Yeah, and you know,
farmers can.
And so, you know, just like, and I think stuff like that. So, like, you know, I think, like, obviously certain YouTubers have that ability to just have that energy to just talk and just essentially be themselves. And I think a lot of people, like, that's probably the easiest way for them anyway, because like if you're like starting off a YouTube channel as a character, you now have to be that character forever. I mean, like, look at Dr. Disrespect on Twitch.
He's banned on Twitch.
I mean, he's banned on Twitch right now, but you know, he's the same way. Like that's not who he is in real life. He doesn't got no fucking mullet, and he doesn't actually wear Pit Viper fucking sunglasses, but that's his character, and that's who he has to be. And so like if he was to try to make something like where he wasn't that character, people would be like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, that would be weird to them.
Yeah.
Even bigger than that.
Yeah.
Larry the Cable Guy. I always remember that accent he has is fake.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy, biggest fraud of the early 2000s.
Really?
Yeah, look it up. That's not what he sounds like. You even talk to him, he sounds like just a regular guy.
Yeah, he sounds like just some guy who fucking grew up in the Midwest. And then he's like, well, then I moved down to Florida, and I liked wrestling gators and talking to horse people, so here I am, Larry the Cable Guy.
You learned something now on the Brews and Bros podcast.
B&B. That dude, it's just that's the thing about making a character though, right? Because you have to fucking go through it the whole way, especially if you attract the audience with that specific character, not just because of the game that you're playing or whatever the fuck you're doing. It's some people might just come for that specific character too.
Yeah, for sure.
And like we were saying earlier.
And you know, and I think that was like the one big thing for me is like I don't know, because obviously with the PlayStation, it would just be gameplay. Like there'd be no like face footage, which is fine. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
But you know, like I said, like the big thing for me was you could for sure, but like for me, like I was saying, I think the big thing for me was I just didn't want to like produce like this half-ass video, and I was like,
that's fair.
I'll eventually get to it. Like I'll sit down one day and I'll just like I'll make one and I'll be like, okay, like this is the introduction, like something real small, just to test it out and stuff like that. And so, you know,
and part of that seems kind of more difficult for me when it comes to the character thing. Because with my Tourette's and everything and like my OCD and all that stuff all put together, I'm very indecisive about things. So there's a group on YouTube, and let's say they play Grand Theft Auto. They all have like their character set in the one way. I could never do that. Anytime a game gives me customization, every 5 minutes I'm changing something. Even with Red Dead, y'all have seen me. I'm like, look at my bandolier now. Look at my jacket. Look at my vest.
Yeah.
Guys, check out my new horse.
Yeah. And some people are like, oh, this is my outfit.
Why are you on my horse?
Hey.
Yeah.
I found it out here all saddled up.
Oh, shit.
If it was taken, why is it letting me ride it? That's just like cheating, bro. If she was taken, why is she letting me ride it? Like,
golly, dog. Golly, bro.
I don't see your name on the horse.
Correct. Hey, so how I don't know shit about this, right? And if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. But like, how is Tourette's? Like, how the fuck does that? How does that
the,
go with your day to day? I guess
it makes life difficult. Like,
sure.
the easiest way to explain it is it's like you have a sneeze, but you have to hold it in. Now, with that, my body is constantly trying to hold it in, but my brain is like, no, don't do that.
Sneeze.
You gotta do this or you will literally die. Will I literally die? No. But my brain has made its own ultimatum, like, if we don't, itch your forehead and tap your wrist or whatever the tick is in that order at that time, it's over. So that's why whenever people hear me cough like that right there, they're like, oh, are you sick? I'm like, no, it's just my Tourette's. My body's just going ba-doo, ba-doo. Or when I'm blinking a lot, or sometimes you'll see this, like I'll go like this, I'll sit here and I'll go, and people are like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I'm just blinking. But one eye will want to blink and the other one will be like, don't close me yet. Someone's coming. You know? And so that's why I'm always all cautious playing the Xbox. Because I'll get all excited, having a good time, and I'll start coughing and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, they're going to hate me. And I'm like, I promise, I'm not trying to cough in y'all's ear. I'm just, I'm living.
Yeah, because you know how people are picky about it. Yeah, people are super picky about, like, breathing into a mic or whatever the fuck it may be, you know? But, like, that's wild shit. I didn't know that, and I'm ignorant, I guess, but I just don't, you know.
Be as ignorant as you want, Rubio. You're good people.
Thanks, buddy.
There are certain times, though, where I do be messing with folks because I'm like, do something. It's like in high school, whenever I had a substitute and I wasn't feeling them, I would just start doing this. And they'd be like, stop doing that. I'd be like, I have Tourette's. And they'd be like, I'm so sorry. Because I was like, I can get away with it.
You're fucked up. You're fucked up.
I am. It's the Tourette's. Can't nobody debate me. That's why I'm telling TLC to get my contract together for my television series. Let me get money. I found all these streamers got Tourette's and stuff, and I'm like,
you can't get
you're like, where's my cut, dude?
Where's my cut? H3 got Tourette's. Give it to me. Billie Eilish got Tourette's. Listen, girl, give me some of that funds. And some of their Tourette's are a little more mild. Some, of course, have more worse. Yeah, I was reading something about that. But some people have obviously more mild stuff. Mine has its moments and, you know, it fluctuates. But some people have it more severe than me. But at the same time, I have it just enough to where I'm like, either Uncle Sam or the entertainment industry is going to be cutting me a check. Because this working is for the birds, bud. I didn't ask to have this.
Yeah.
And I can't kill myself because that's destruction of government property, and that's against the law.
I feel that, dude. Me too.
I like my life too much, though. I don't got tips to, but...
Well, I would say with that being said, I think that's probably a good stopping point. Again, thank you for coming on, Rubio. I really appreciate it.
Did you get bit?
No, that's just my foot, dog.
This foot's purple. I'm sorry.
So again, straight up, thank you again for coming on. You know, you can plug your podcast here. I'll put a link in the description. There should already be one. But go ahead, tell one last little spiel about your podcast. Tell them where to find it, all that good stuff.
30 seconds.
Yes. Don't forget to follow Brews and Bros podcast on YouTube, on Spotify, on Facebook, fucking everything. Mine's Vetterview. But thank you again for having me on here. Like I'm the host. Thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be the first one on your video. And I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did, because I did.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun for sure. We'll have to do it again sometime.
You don't look like your Red Dead character though, and that's kind of off-putting. But
I can't grow beard, dude. It's just my self-conscious. It's my second me.
Yeah, that's why all my characters are skinny.
I look just like mine
and have a full head of hair.
It's the same thing for me, but like, you know,
opposite. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, well,
put a big ass dick on Red Dead.